If any pony ever calls me negative, they are lying. I'm one of the very few, it seems, who actually liked Season 6, and one of even fewer who liked Newbie Dash. Among the questions in the fandom that keep coming back year after year like a bad penny is whether My Little Pony is going through seasonal rot. Proponents of this idea seem to rather overlook the fact that the series was never that good to begin with. It stood out merely for defying expectations of what a show titled My Little Pony Friendship is Magic should do. That is also the reason for the fierce hostility the fanbase has towards G3 MLP, which did nothing to challenge such expectations.
What are you doing under all these clothes?
Oh, dressing up to get some fun ideas for a dress-up party.
The trouble is that the novelty of Friendship is Magic not being G3 has worn off after 6 years, so there is no longer a get-out-of-jail-free card for episodes not quite matching the momentum of seasons 3 and 4. Now, there are 1 or 2 episodes from the last 2 seasons, like Princess Spike or The Cart Before the Ponies, that didn't really deliver, but other episodes have come under the kind of scrutiny that lacks any sort of substance. Lily Pete made an interesting observation recently about the attitudes of other analysts.
The core concept of Friendship is Magic is not its world or its lore or any of the other stuff bronies pretend to care about, it's the themes. I'm often called the most negative reviewer of Friendship is Magic, and while I find that attitude to be extremely reductionist, I can at least see where it comes from. I tend to laser focus on the themes in Friendship is Magic because that's what the show is asking me to pay attention to, something that most other reviewers flat out ignore.
Instead of appreciating how the season 6 finale told the story of Starlight learning to trust her natural ability as a leader, analysts narrowed in on there being no explanation for how the main 6 were replaced by changelings, despite this being an unnecessary and largely irrelevant detail. In the case of Newbie Dash, meanwhile, the core theme seems to have been almost universally overlooked. Miss Anthropony spouted something about it being okay to make mistakes, while others have become bogged down in the supposed subtext of bullying. Yeah, there's a difference between using a mildly irritating affectionate nickname and flat-out harassment. Once Rainbow Dash understands that it is part of initiation which all of the Wonderbolts go through, and is not intended as an insult, she is perfectly okay with it.
But you guys all called me Rainbow Crash.
Yeah, so? My nickname's Clipper. You know why they call me that?
'Cause you're as fast as a ship?
Because I clipped my wing on a flagpole as I was landing on my first day.
Huh.
So let's break the episode down. It opens with Rainbow becoming a Wonderbolt. She does nothing to achieve it, there is no build-up, it is just thrusted upon her, which again has been criticised. However, it is not a bad thing at all, in fact it is crucial to the main theme of the story, and I'll get to why in a moment. If there's one element that does detract from Newbie Dash, it is how the conflict takes so long to develop. It is some 5 minutes in when Rainbow Dash first picks up the name Crash. Afterwards, she goes back to her friends and makes the following comment.
What could be wrong? I'm finally a Wonderbolt, which means everything has to be totally, perfectly awesome.
Rainbow Dash has invested so much into her dream of becoming a Wonderbolt that the idea of it not being absolutely perfect in every way is inconceivable. But unfortunately, that's not how life works. If you'll forgive me going all brawny buck for a moment, reality isn't a musical. If our ambitions ever come true, it is usually when we least expect and not in the glorious way we envisaged. I know this because in a way I'm living one of my dreams by being able to have some connections in analysis and having had the opportunity to hang out in call with some amazing individuals, but all too often I avoid these situations for fear of making a bad impression. If you weren't aware, these videos are all very tightly scripted, and the reason is they have to be, because I am no good at being put on the spot and forced to improvise. Also, having studied the community and all its dramas from the outside for so long, it is oddly surreal to get a glimpse of its inner workings. There are times in Skype calls where I've felt like a ghost listening in from another world. In spite of these experiences, I have no regrets. The worst reaction is to panic and attempt to attain perfection. Rainbow Dash only escalates the problem when she does this, causing her to look even more foolish. The episode does, however, end on an optimistic note.
So, why are you in such a good mood?
Duh! Because I'm a Wonderbolt!
Rainbow Dash has learnt to accept things as they are and focus on the positive, which is the most beneficial attitude to have. She may have done something really stupid along with gaining an unfortunate nickname, but none of those things can take away from her achieving her greatest ambition. Our dreams aren't often realised in the way we imagine, but that makes them no less valuable, and that's the moral of the story. So I joined those MLP forums guys again on Flight Force's channel to react to the Season 6 finale. If you want to see that, the link will be in the description below. This is the biggest react we've ever done, so I hope you enjoy. I'm Midnight and I'll see you next time.